to cozy up to an activist movement that regularly calls for a friend's assassination, then assert their right to the former friend's love. Emma is rightly free to disagree with me and indeed to discuss her feelings about me in public. But I have the same right, and I've finally decided to exercise it. I mean, mic drop, Stuber gear. She could not have said this more perfectly, better, more powerfully, or more in a more damaging way for Emma Watson. So did Daniel Radcliffe. He should not escape this either. He was just as disgusting to her. And you know those were the ones that burned. As J.K. Rowling was dealing with death threats and having to amp up her security to protect her family, those are the ones she was thinking about, because we wouldn't even know Emma Watson's name if it hadn't been for J.K. Rowling.
The studio lights are dim. The set is quiet. Megyn Kelly sits at her desk, composed and direct. She looks into the camera, the betrayal of J.K. Rowling. Calm, focused, and ready. There comes a moment, she begins, when silence is not just weak, it's betrayal. She leans in slightly, voice clear and deliberate. Tonight, I want to talk about someone who built an empire, and someone who quietly helped tear it down. I'm talking about J.K. Rowling and Emma Watson. And before the social media warriors start typing, let me be very clear. This isn't about hate. It's about honesty. The screen flashes briefly with images of Harry Potter premieres, red carpets, smiling cast members. It's nostalgia until it shifts. J.K. Rowling created a universe that changed lives. Not just with books, but with courage. She took risks. She stood for women, for girls, for the idea that biological sex matters. And for that, not murder, not fraud, not racism, for that, she's been treated like a villain. Megyn's tone sharpens. And what did Emma Watson do? The young woman whose career Rowling made possible, who was handed the role of Hermione Granger, a character generations of girls looked up to? When Rowling was being called a bigot and a Nazi for stating biological facts, did Emma defend her? Did she show gratitude? Integrity? She pauses.
No.
She distanced herself, tweeted vague platitudes about trans rights are human rights, and made it clear she was not aligned with the woman who gave her a platform. The camera zooms slightly, Megyn unwavering. This is what cultural cowardice looks like. This is what happens when moral clarity is replaced with image management. Emma Watson didn't take a principled stand. She took the safe one, the trendy one, the one that got her applause on Twitter and fawning headlines in Vogue. Her voice lowers, thoughtful now. And here's the part that truly matters. This isn't just about two celebrities. It's about a growing, dangerous.
Expect to cozy up to an activist movement that regularly calls for a friend's assassination, then assert their right to the former friend's love. Emma is rightly free to disagree with me and indeed to discuss her feelings about me in public. But I have the same right, and I've finally decided to exercise it. I mean, mic drop, Stuber gear.
Megyn sits back in her chair, the silence in the studio thick for a moment. Her eyes stay locked on the camera, unwavering. She taps her pen once against the desk, then begins again, her voice even, but charged. Emma Watson isn't just another actress, she says. She's a symbol, a carefully sculpted figurehead for modern, Instagram-friendly feminism. The kind that looks good on a tote bag or a Vanity Fair cover. The kind that's safe, sanitized, and absolutely silent when it matters most. The screen briefly cuts to a montage. Emma giving a speech at the UN, walking red carpets in tailored suits, posing next to he-for-she posters. Then it returns to Megyn. She talks about equality, about women's rights. She posts quotes from Maya Angelou and Virginia Woolf. But when it came time to stand for one of the most successful female authors of all time, one who is being vilified, threatened, and erased simply for defending the rights of women, Emma Watson didn't just go quiet. She joined the pylon. Megyn's tone hardens. Not angry, but deeply disappointed. J.K. Rowling, love her or hate her, built the very franchise that gave Emma her career. Rowling gave her Hermione Granger, a character who taught an entire generation of girls to be smart, brave, and unafraid to speak their minds. And yet, when Rowling did exactly that, when she said that women are biologically distinct, that they deserve privacy, dignity, and single-sex spaces, what did Emma do? She pauses. The silence lands like a punch. She tweeted, "Not in defense, not with nuance, but in opposition." Cryptic, performative, pandering. And then she disappeared back into the curated comfort of celebrity activism. Meghan leans in slightly. This is what happens when feminism is stripped of its spine. When standing up for women becomes conditional, only if it's fashionable, only if it doesn't cost you Instagram followers or Hollywood invites. It's easy to call yourself an activist, fictional monologue. Dangerous trend, the silencing of women who speak biological truth. We are living in an age where saying, "only women get pregnant," is considered controversial. Where stating a woman is an adult human female gets you blacklisted. She looks directly into the lens. Let me ask you something. If a woman with J.K. Rowling's wealth, power, and global influence can be hunted, smeared, and isolated for speaking up, what chance does the average woman have? What chance does a female athlete have, or a young girl in school who's uncomfortable sharing a locker room with a biological male? She sits back slowly, letting the words land. Rowling didn't start a war. She stated a belief. A belief rooted in science, in feminism, in reality. And for that, she's been betrayed, not just by activists, but by those she once lifted up. And Emma Watson, she could have said, "I disagree, but I stand by the woman who changed my life." She could have stayed silent, but instead, she chose to posture. Meghan's tone hardens again. And that right there is what makes this moment so bitter. Emma Watson used feminism to build a brand. She made speeches about equality, stood before world leaders, called herself a champion for women. But when one of the most famous women on earth was attacked for defending women, Watson went quiet. Or worse, she sided with the mob. The lights dim slightly as Meghan stands. The camera follows her as she walks to a standing podium. Let's be honest, modern feminism has become a marketing slogan. It's profitable to scream girl power on Instagram. It's safe to quote Gloria Steinem on a podcast. But the second a woman challenges progressive orthodoxy, she's gone. Cancelled. Dismissed. Or in Rowling's case, rebranded as a villain in the very world she created. She places her hand gently on the podium. And to all the girls watching this who grew up with Hermione Granger as your role model, I want you to know something. It's okay to question things.